Hey, welcome back to another PUBG video. Happy to be back. It's been a while. Like, as you know, if you don't know, I quit console for a few months, for a month actually. So I stopped playing console or playing PUBG on console for about a month and switched to PC. I was really frustrated by the quality or performance of the game. Still bad anyway, but anyway, I'm back and I'm better. So yeah, maybe I'll go off again for another month. So I recorded this game when I was 6 kills in. I didn't want to record at first because I didn't want to jinx it. Most of the time I would record or stream and then nothing happens, like just get killed after a second or first kill. Yeah, so I saw this guy, I was driving by, I decided to follow him. This happened. So I got an opportunity to third party or to participate as a third party in this particular fight. And at this juncture I want to talk about third party and what's the concept of third partying, and how you can use it. Also, you can use third partying to get a lot of kills, and at the same time you can understand the situation around third partying to be able to avoid being a victim of third partying. Okay, so we'll discuss those two things, but I think the main thing is just to avoid being a victim. All right, so in PUBG, what you depend on in PUBG is two things to be able to locate the enemies: is your sight, ability to see them. If you see the enemy, like right now I've seen the enemy, and so that's my sight. My ability to see, so your visibility gives you away. The other thing that gives you away in PUBG is sound. I'm shooting now this guy, so anyone who is hearing my shots already knows where I am. So those two things. Most of the time, what attracts people to a third party a fight is always sound. The moment you just shoot out your gun, already you give out your position. Even if you are hidden, even if people weren't seeing you, already they know where you are, and usually attracts a lot of people. Sometimes I move around and see no one. I really want to do participate in a fight, and then I hear two people fighting and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take part in that. So I had some shots around his area, so I decided to switch off my engine, glide slowly, try to find the guy, and for sure I found him. There, you see, he's fighting another guy. 2 shots in the head and he's out. So to avoid being a victim is always be aware of where you are. Just cover your back. Know your back is clean. Be aware of where you are. Be aware where the enemies are. Just protect yourself. Okay. So that's point number 1. I think number 2 will come to it after this fight. So I decided to third party these guys also. So they're too busy, when people are fighting, they're too busy to, protect themselves from other people fighting. So they are protecting themselves against the other person who is close to them, right? But they are not protecting themselves against any other person out there. So lucky there. If this guy's good, I'd be dead by now. So we'll move to point number 2 on how to avoid being a victim is finish your fights quickly. Alright, so if you're in a fight, just ensure the fight ends really quickly, because the more you elongate the fight, the more time you give people to come and get you unawares, because you might have scouted the place, you're aware that people are not nearby, you're well protected, But as people hear your shots, they are like, those guys are having a good time, let's go and participate. They'll, even if they are far, they'll get there and still find you fighting. Alright, so if you see a fight taking too long, just leave. Alright, and the other thing is after the fight. So most of the people would come, they'll hear the fights, and then they'll come and try and participate, and then you've already killed the person, but you're still there trying to loot, and they find you looting. So after the fight, clean up the place, ensure there's no one nearby, and then loot. If it's too dangerous, just leave, don't loot. Right? So I think that's it generally. That's my advice generally about how to avoid being a victim. So we are in phase 5 now, and I was just trying to find a good place to settle. Scouting this hill, it has a very good depression, so we're just cleaning it up, trying to figure out if there is anyone else. Found this one guy here, and he almost killed me. Then I had the wrong gun. I took him out. So please take note on how I jumped out of the vehicle when I was fighting this guy, because you'll see something else next. In a few, you will see a mistake that someone else made. It's a mistake that many of us do. Is how do you jump out of a vehicle and participate in a fight? So the key thing generally, let me just talk about right now. When you jump out of a gun, of a moving vehicle, or a vehicle into a fight, always ensure you are protected. Okay. So always make sure the driver's seat is away from your enemy, so that when you jump out of the vehicle, you are protected. You use the car as a protection against the enemy. Simple as that. Something that's really interesting about this game is that this particular game, everything was aligned. Everything was going according to plan. Like, I never struggled on this game when I needed, the new helmet, new vest. There was this crate here. No one had looted it. It was new. There was no one around me. I'd cleared my back. Left, I'd already somehow scouted. It was clear. Front was a bit far from. I'd already scouted that place. So this guy came. You'll see the mistake that he made. He jumped out. He jumped out he jumped out when the car was still moving. That's 1. 2, he jumped out facing the enemy. And when you jump out, you have like a few microseconds to actually adjust and be able to aim and shoot. So, but the guy who's on the ground is already has an advantage against you. So there are 3 of us now. 3 of us remaining. You can hear them fighting out there. Okay, it's 1 guy remaining, so it's 2v2. So I decided to change my position to ensure that they didn't know where I was. So they already know where the car is, so they have idea where I am. I'm just changing direction to ensure that I'm a bit closer and I'm a bit protected from my enemy. At this point, I was thinking a lot of things. There's so much going through my head at this particular point. I can't even remember exactly what was going on. I think the thing that I can remember is, I was worried about the zone, whether the zone will, push me out of my hiding position. Whether the other guy had a grenade, whether the other guy knew where I was. Looking at my smoke grenade, I only had 1. I was thinking about tricking the enemy. If you have a smoke grenade, you always throw it somewhere far off from where you are, just to trick the enemy to think you are somewhere else. And I wanted to do that, but I had only 1 smoke. I was contemplating, waiting for the zone to come fast, so that I know where to move to next. So he has an advantage from a zone perspective. I had to go to him, and this was making the whole thing was. So I just decided to do one thing, which was to throw the smokes to where he was. It's an interesting strategy. Is just you throw the smoke to where the enemy is, and you block their view for close combat. So I knew if I got out of this place, he would still see me, but once I'm close, he wouldn't see me very well. So I wanted to use that. And there he came out, and that's chicken dinner, my friends. Yeah, that was an awesome game. 12 kills. Chicken dinner for the year.